How do you stay positive as this, little fly going down the road with the semi coming? How do you stay positive and energized to keep this message out there?
I've lived in third world countries, and no matter how much people tell me they suffer in this country, I've seen suffering to the point that now, even if I think about it, I almost start crying. And so I look at this country, this great country of ours, as full of people. Any individual in this country could change the world. Just because of the fact that we do have so much, and we who have so little, based on people in other countries, still have so much. I have lived internationally a lot in my life, and I understand that the message is a commonality on the earth. So if I get frustrated or down, I again begin to misuse my powers. And even though I could have the worst things happen to me, or whatever negative that could happen to me, I know it's only momentary. I get more power from things that make me sad because it makes me more committed, or more, if it's something, if I get bummed out about something, I'll go home and paint 8 pictures, 8 paintings, or write 3 songs or 4 songs.
Your visual art is a release.
It's a meditation on patience, because you can't make it happen. Where I can write a song and it's done. I could start a painting, but it won't get done as fast as I would like to see. And the other thing about painting is, you can make a mistake and it turns into a completely different painting.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it at that point. You just have to go against, it's a teacher, because if it goes another way and you fight it, you might mess it up. Whereas if you don't fight it and let it go another way, then it turns into something else. Sometimes songs are that way too, but I think it's more melodic than lyrical. Because once you establish a storyline in a song, you usually have to continue that story. Painting is a meditation for me.
Wow. So you're someone who is seeking the meaning and the purpose of life.
To seek something, usually you're looking for something that you can't find, but it's in you to begin with. So I don't really look at myself as a seeker. I look at myself as part of it. I'm not looking for what's already in me. I am trying to draw it out more, and I'm trying to be a better person within everything I do. But I think I traveled all around the world seeking. I sit at home and all of a sudden, I start writing music, or how they say you go look for the guru, that person or that entity that's going to teach you the path to enlightenment or wisdom or whatever. And usually it's in you to begin with.
Wherever you go, there you are.
It's just somebody who comes and hits the right switch in you that turns a light on in the room that inside of yourself you've never been in. And you go in there and it's everything from when you're a baby to right now that you put away as your treasures, but you never could find them. So it's all in there. Just somebody knew how to get there within you when you didn't, or you can get there by yourself through your life, whatever.
So is meditation in the traditional sense of meditation, the sitting down and focusing in, is that a part of your life, or do you use art and music as your device?
I think it's continual. I meditate when I'm doing stuff. It's the thought behind the thought. If you want to do good, you could be doing something and your thoughts could be on something else that you want to, or a frame of mind you want to be in that's behind what you're doing. I pray and meditate. There's differences. Praying is more to something, for something, with something, whereas meditation is release and expansion, or taking stuff in.
So where have you lived all over the world?
I've lived in Spain, in Rota, Spain, and Paris, France, and Amsterdam, in London. Lived in Jamaica, Belize. And then several states in the United States.
And I know your list of musicians that you've played with and opened up for is just extensive. And I don't know, you've had a pretty amazing music career, and here you are, you've settled into this area.
I reluctantly accepted the niceness of Iowa City. I fought it for the first year, and I was too comfortable. Yeah, my expectations were so high. I just had these great expectations of Iowa City 1970s, when the club scene was happening.
I've heard about that music scene.
Oh,
that's kind of when you hit on the scene here, right?
Well, actually, I started playing here in the 60s. And, you know, I go back to when Mother Blues, Pat Hazel was the only big band in town. And the Legends in Cedar Rapids, we're talking 60s, late 60s. I was with the IBTC in the late 60s. And we did show R&B, Motown, R&B, and we got inducted to Hall of Fame in 2008 with all these people like Ellery Temple and Shadows of Night, who were from Chicago but resettled in Iowa City. And then Jefferson Airplane had a house in Iowa City for a little while, and Allen Ginsberg was here, and George O'Keeffe was here for a little while. And there were all these people that were here during that time period. So it was just an incredible melting pot of creativity and political consciousness. And it lasted for almost 20 years in Iowa City. And then the disco age came in, and
the disco killed everything.
It was like, woo, you know, but still, Iowa City was one of the last places to transitionalize out of a live performance town. It still is on the cuff of that, but there's a level of professionalism and community that existed back then that doesn't exist now. Yeah. So the first year I came expecting that there would be this fire. You know, I had to just throw some kindling on me. And there's a lot of work to be done, because there's a lot of consciousness. It's not just playing good. It's not just having a following. It is having a diverse, I use the word diverse very broadly, a diverse core group of community. And there are no walls to keep people from being people. And it's more powerful to be people together than people apart. So,
you know, I've noticed that too with music scenes in general, but we'll use Iowa City as the example, that like the genres of music will divide people out. You know, and I always think, but it's just music.
You know the funny thing? I were talking about this. I remember when the Crow's Nest and Gabe and Walker's were right next door to each other. Me and Bo Ramsey would get together, and we would actually do one set in one club, and then switch clubs. I mean, the bands. We'd have the same basic setup, and they would come and play in our room, and we would go play in their room. Yeah. And it was completely two styles of music, because we were friends. Not because we played different styles of music. We were friends. Our friendship and our love for each other didn't have anything to do with the music. But on the other hand, it did. Like when some of the country swing bands like Long Shot used to be here, I used to go play with them. And it was like, and we're playing at places where these people see me come in and they just go, y'all ain't gonna play no blues, is you? You know, these people look at us like, woo, man. And I'm with all these guys with cowboy hats on, and we're playing country swing and country western. And I used to love it because they were players. There was no foot pedals, and they were just picking and grinning, you know, that old line.
So what would you say to folks in the music scene here in Iowa City now about your desire to see that music community really grow? What do you think people can do to have that feeling again?
Get together and play. Yeah. It's that simple. And get together with people you don't normally